Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching. The channel's called Ratchet. My name's Andrew, and on this episode, I give you a wrap up of what's been going on in the last 8 months. Run the title. Welcome back after what has been an absolutely massive gap since my last upload. Now, I would love to say it's because I've been out having too much fun in the GT40, racking up hundreds of miles, but unfortunately, that's just not the case. I've managed a grand total of about 500 miles this year, much to my embarrassment. Now, it's down to a couple of reasons. One being the rubbish UK summer we've had this year. I don't want to drive it in the wet. It's as simple as that. I've put too much time, money and effort into worrying about taking this out in our wet, miserable, muddy, greasy roads we have here in the UK. That backed up with the fact that, you know, family life, other commitments get in the way. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, although there has been more things going wrong with the car than going right, and I'll get to that later in the video. But this is more of a kickstart off again because there are some things going on with the car that I want to bring you up to speed on. So this one's going to be a roundup, get a baseline of where we are, where we're going, and what needs to be done to the car. So I think without further more, let's get on with it. Now, I think the best thing to do is address the elephant in the room, and that's the fact that the gearbox is out of the car. I was driving the car back end of July, which was the last time I actually used it. And on my way home, I picked up a speed-related clonk, and it was more of a clonk. It sounded very, very serious. Now, depending what gear I was in, depending on the speed of that noise. So what I did relatively easily was pull the gearbox off the back of the engine and loaded it off to a gearbox specialist where it's actually sat now, and I will pick up the full detail next video when I find out exactly what is wrong. This has been the main contributing factor, as you can imagine, why I've not been driving the car. For those of you that have been following along for quite some time, you may recall that I've never been 100% happy with the paintwork for one reason or another. Now, over the summer and the use the car has had, it has picked up a little bit of damage for one reason or another, which I will show you in a short second. So I think over this winter, I'm going to get the bodywork prepped and hopefully maybe in for a respray. So come the springtime, the car will be absolutely 100% and finally to a quality that I'm happy with. The first areas I need to address are some damage around the fuel filler caps. Now I'll try and pick up the cracking on the reflection of the lights overhead. This side is worse than the other side, but both need addressing. And this was caused by me travelling at a fair speed along a road that had a couple of large hidden dips. Because I was running the car quite a bit lower than it is now, and quite softly, that when I went over these dips, the front tyre actually hit the underside of the front clam, and because it's how it's fixed, meant when the front clam sort of popped when it blowed up due to the impact of the front tyre, it then pushed up around the filler caps, and these were the points of least resistance on the whole front end and caused some cracking in the paint. I've now raised the car, stiffened it up a touch, and the subsequent miles I did after, I didn't have any problem at all. On to the next thing that I need to deal with, and that is the rear clam. Now, when I removed the rear periscope vents that came with the car, I fiberglassed over the holes that were obviously left there. Now, I thought I did a suitably robust job, but it's turned out that I guess through the heat of the exhaust and the engine, it has caused the fiberglass and filler to sink ever so slightly. Now, you won't be able to see it in this orientation, but when the bodywork is on the car and the light hits it in a certain way, you can see that sinking. I need to make good and get that prepped before the car goes for the respray. Continuing to air all of the car's dirty laundry, I still do have the leak on the engine to contend with. Now, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the sump, so I want to investigate the front main seal and see if it's actually coming from there, and obviously deal with that as and when, seeing what I do actually find out. Good news though is the interior is still in great shape, as I hoped it would be. All of the aluminium panelling is holding up beautifully and staying that really nice dull scotched bright finish that I gave it with the Nyalic protection spray. Steering wheel and gear knob are just aging in nicely, and the seats are so comfy. It was a real triumph installing these. One thing I do want to do though, to the driver's seat, is possibly make one of those foam fitted seats, you know, that you make with the expandable foam and the bin liner. I fancy giving that a go, because I'm hoping that would give me just a next level of comfort, and it would just be a little fun project to see how it would all pan out. So maybe that's something that I do also over this winter. With everything I've just covered off, it hasn't been all doom and gloom. At the start of the summer, the car was at the National Kit Car Show on the Tornado Sports Car stand, where I was able to meet people appreciating what had gone into the build of this car, so that was lovely. And likewise, I was able to get out to a few Cars and Coffee events. I do have Caffeine and Machine just up the road from where I live, so go down there on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, and just stand around and just chat rubbish with like-minded people was always a pleasure. So although I am faced with a few big jobs in terms of the bodywork and the gearbox, and I've got a plan, I want to get the car ready and in a certain state ready for next year. And you know, it just gives me something to aim for. So with this being a little slide into the videos again, hopefully the next video I will be able to give you a full and detailed breakdown on the gearbox. They may not even find a problem, so that could lead me onto more searching for what this issue I'm facing could well be. So yeah, I think that'll do as a starter for 10, and I will no doubt catch you next time.